Welcome. My name is David Harris. I'm the Managing Director at the Charles Hamilton Houston Institute for Race and Justice here at Harvard Law School. I'd like to welcome you here on behalf of Dean Minow and the entire law school. We're really pleased to be able to put on today's presentation. We're very fortunate to be working with a number of creative folks, and you'll be hearing from them. I wanted to say a little bit about the Houston Institute, which, as some of you may know, was founded 9 years ago now, maybe, by Charles Ogletree, with the express purpose of kind of extending the legacy of Charles Hamilton Houston, who I'm going to presume and stipulate all of you know, was known as the architect behind the Brown versus Board of Education decision. And I'm not going to go on at length, but I think it's important to know that one of the things that Houston left us with was this idea that we had to tie all our struggles in together, that we couldn't operate in isolation, either in terms of the things we undertook or the way we did our work. And we at the Institute are committed to trying to be a convener, an incubator, and getting people together who might not otherwise come together. And it's in this regard that we're really pleased to have been working with the Equity Initiative funded by the Proteus Foundation, and to be able to present to you today's discussion of implicit bias as part of what we call a philanthropy lab. And we're trying to think about how we can help people and work with folks in philanthropy to extend their missions. So I'd like to introduce Andrew Grant Thomas at this point from the Proteus Foundation to tell you a little bit about the Equity Initiative and introduce our speaker. Andrew?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We're absolutely delighted by the turnout. Let me say a little word about the Proteus Fund and about the Equity Initiative. So I'm the director of programs at the Proteus Fund. My name is Andrew Grant Thomas. The Proteus Fund is a public charity. We raise money and then give it away. And what we give it away to are programs under the broad umbrella of peace, democracy, and human rights. And we have 9 programs. One of them has been something we call the Diversity Fellowship, which is meant to diversify philanthropy. And we realized that that goal, though worthwhile, and we've been doing it for a while, I saw at least one alum of the Diversity Fellowship here, is really too thin a reed for the work we really mean to do, which is to promote changes within philanthropy that certainly go beyond simply diversifying it, right? Our program director, Tammy Dowley-Blackman, is back there. Tammy, I'll invite you to say a couple of words. Would you come on up? I will just say this and then hand over to Tammy, who really has been leading the project since its inception. And what I'd like to say is this. Diversifying philanthropy certainly is part of what we mean to do, and one important means to the end of sort of helping to shape a philanthropy in the United States that is more committed to racial justice and racial equity, and has the tools to follow through on that commitment and conviction. So part of what we're doing this year, actually led by Tammy, is to take seriously the goal of having more goals, more expansive goals that are about giving tools to philanthropy to do that work. And the Philanthropy Lab is sort of our first effort in thinking about, in producing a vehicle for the creation of those tools, the transfer of those tools, or the working out of those tools with philanthropic partners, and then implementation. And there's actually more that we can say about, what you see here in this effort today is only the beginning of that effort. And perhaps before, when we get into the Q&A, we can say a little bit more about where we think that may be going. But now let me introduce Tammy Dowley-Blackman, who again is the program director of the Diversity Initiative, of the Diversity Fellowship, which is becoming the Equity Initiative, and really the engine behind all the work that we've done. Tammy.
Hi, everyone. I wasn't kidding about being sweaty. I was trying to gather you all up, so I was running. You're making sure I get my exercise today. I'm glad it ended up being a very nice day so we could all walk through campus and get here. It's so nice to see so many of your faces, many of whom I know. I love to be able to say hello to those I've not yet had the pleasure of meeting. Some of you have heard me say this before, and I will continue to say it. It is an honor and a privilege to be associated with the Diversity Fellowship since its inception almost 8 years ago, and to have been its founding program director. To have moved the program from Associated Grant Makers to the Proteus Fund, another great privilege, and to work with the team at the Proteus Fund just feels like it's just easy, just really, really easy. Some people ask me about, they know that I do a lot of commuting all over New England, and I say, but it doesn't feel like it's hard at all, because this work is so very interesting. We are so looking forward to this expansion, to your thoughts and to your ideas and to your interests. We know that the fellowship has been amazing, and it's done an incredible piece of work as part of bringing more people of color to philanthropy. But opening up this conversation, making it much more wider, making it where we have many more voices, and the kind of conversation is really, really important to us. And we believe that this is a prime opportunity, and we're excited about this. The outreach to the to EPIP and the outreach to Charles Hamilton Houston Institute makes it just complete. We can't do this work alone. No one can do this work alone. And it is so wonderful to have partners, both in-state, out-of-state, other kinds of partners, and we hope that you'll be partners in the work as we continue to think about what the Equity Initiative will be, can be, and what the Philanthropy Lab should be and can be. So this is a very, very first step, and we appreciate you all being here with us, and we look forward to the conversation, and this is merely, as I said, a first step. So again, an honor and a privilege to be with you all today. Thank you for taking time out. I know that schedules are so busy, and as you can imagine, as planners of an event like this, what you worry about is at 2 o'clock, at 1:30, everyone says, oh my gosh, I have to stay in this meeting. I can't get out. I can't do this. So to see your faces here is so wonderful that you would take the time and be here with us. So I'll stop here. I'm here afterwards. I'd love to be able to say hello, particularly to those I've never had the opportunity to meet, and we'll go from there. So happy learning. You didn't think you'd be a student again, right? Thank you all.